What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Blurred Dimension. Today we have something very special. We're gonna call it "Love It or Hate It." This topic is about the Nintendo Switch. It's around E3 season, so there's a lot of rumors about the Nintendo Switch Pro. And so leading up to that, and leading up to the eventual announcement, I wanted to gather all of us as the Blurred Dimension crew and see what are our thoughts on the Nintendo Switch? Do we love it? Do we hate it? How do we feel about the Nintendo Switch Pro? And then for folks that are on the fence or folks that are hating, I won't call anybody out. Um, for folks that are hating on the Switch, like what is it going to take for the Switch Pro to get them to pull the trigger on that? So I want to start off with introductions, and then with the introductions, I want to see who has a Nintendo Switch, and if you do, why do you love it? And if you don't, why are you hating? So let's start with JK in the top left. So do you have a Nintendo Switch?
I do. Not sir. I do have a Switch, and even though I rarely play it, but I still love it. So, I mean,
What's like your favorite? What's your favorite game on the Switch?
right now, Knockout City. It actually is not too bad once you get used to the controls. The only thing I have problems with is the Joy Cons, and how close the buttons are. But
True, true,
if you get a Pro controller, you can fix that problem, so
true,
to speak.
true.
Um,
I see Swab's reaction.
We already got something in the chamber.
I
all we
know
got,
he's biting his
all we
tongue
got
over there.
shot.
I see.
Niggas living in pain. Niggas living in pain.
All right, Tech. Do you have a Switch?
No, we do not own a Switch in the household. Um, Definitely think I would say like I'm not directly on the stage of hating it. Hating it as a person who plays mostly FPS games and shooters and stuff like that of the range. I don't think a Switch is for me, but like from a perspective of putting my parents' lens on, a Switch is great as an entry console, just like the Nintendo 64 was for us. And Sega and stuff like that. It's great entry for kids because the games play more towards kids and family play styles.
Mm-hmm.
Am I playing Apex on Switch? God no, because I don't like pain. Am I messing up my kids in
I
Mario
won't go that.
Kart?
I wouldn't go that far.
Definitely.
I love the Switch, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't play Apex on there. Nah.
Exactly. Actually, I had, like the first good this weekend. I was at my in-laws' house. My father-in-law, big Nintendo fan, so he had the Switch and all the different variants. And that's what he's getting the kids for Christmas. Um, but nevertheless, like first real time being able to like sit down and play like a good few hours of just Switch gameplay from Mario Kart to Mario Party and to what's the Switch fighter? But I can't
Smash.
think of right now. Smash Bros. Yeah. It was it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a joyful experience overall. Like not thinking of it from a competitive lens, but thinking about it just from enjoyment factor and like my kids enjoying it. It was good. Um, would I buy a pro version of that? No, because like the fuck again, like I don't see the point. Like, do I want a pro version of Mario Kart? I don't care. Mario Kart is Mario Kart. It's not meant to be this big old spectacle. Like even playing like the new Mario Kart was too much. Like I just
It's
need Mario,
it's
a few of his buddies, and like a shell to throw at
it's too
whoever's in first
complex.
place.
Too
Like
many systems.
too many systems. Like they're doing too much, and like they need to stick with what they were good at, and cater to that. You're the entry drug, Nintendo. You're not the Xbox. You're not the PlayStation. You're damn sure not a gaming PC. You're the entry drug. That's how
Yeah.
we all start. That's how people will continue to start.
Strong
Stay in your
words.
lane.
Okay. All right. Suave, I already know. I already know what you're gonna say. So let's let the people know.
Man, no, I don't. I don't have a Switch. Not that interested in the Switch. Like, I do want to play Mario Kart. I want to play Mario Party, but not enough, like to brave like bad resolution, like shitty controller, bad
Mm,
ergonomics. Like, I don't
mm.
like pain. I don't like. I did try it. Like, one of my kids got a Switch for Christmas, and I was like, bet. Because I was like, all right, y'all, I would love to play more games with y'all, but all y'all motherfuckers play is Fortnite. I don't want to play that. So I put Road Company on the Switch. I was like, bet, we about to get in here. I played Road Company for like one match. I was like, this is terrible. There's no way.
Pain.
Like, who can do this? And I mean, like Tech said, that's good for kids because kids don't care about that kind of shit. Me, I was like, no, I can't do this. It was just terrible. It was mad angular. Nah, I can't do it. I cannot do it.
All right.
Are we talking about the Switch Pro or should I?
No, I'm gonna go around the room.
All right, bet. Go ahead.
AJ, what's your what?
I do own a Switch.
Look at this, Mo.
I do. I also
This man like all kind of pain.
Pain.
You got the little grips. You got the grips on there.
I got the grips on there, man. The little rubber grips on there.
All right.
I'm not gonna tell you why I have the grips because that would go against my point. But I will say that I enjoy the Switch. I play pretty much Smash Brothers, Mario Kart. I get crushed in that. I've never been good at racing games, so Mario Kart's like even farther in that direction of just ridiculous and a racing game. So I get washed by my entire family in that game, but I enjoy playing it with my family. Same with Smash Brothers. They've been into Call of Duty so heavy these days that we don't actually play the Switch as much, which to my chagrin, I don't like that at all. But still, it's to me, all of my best memories come from like video game memories come from Nintendo games. Like they kind of started it. I used to play back in the day. The N64 was part of I had an N64 and a Dreamcast at the same time, and it was the N64 that was in rotation. It was the Golden Eyes, the Smash Brothers. We used to play so much WCW versus NWO, like Wolfpack, the second one. We would just play friggin' Battle Royale and throw each other out the ring all night. Like so, it's like Nintendo games they're iconic for that reason. They're yeah, so in the graphics department, sure, they fall short, but I think for me, what trumps graphics always is mechanics. Mechanics always trump it, and I know there's issues with the controller. Some people don't like it. I don't have a problem with it, but some people don't like it. Don't like the feel of it. I can understand that, but in terms of like the way the games are constructed and the way the game mechanics are, I think Nintendo does that better than anybody to make something that lasts in your head and also makes everybody feel like they got a chance to win. Like you don't get that. Like we play Halo every week. I never feel like I'm gonna win Halo. I always feel like I'm gonna lose that game. I don't have any confidence in my ability to play that game. I'm not the best Smash player either, but I don't feel like I'm ever like at a disadvantage. Even if somebody's better than me, I feel like that game gives me enough space to.
It's more casual in nature.
Yeah. Right, and there aren't many games like that on the other consoles. So even if I genuinely hated the Switch, which I don't, I like Nintendo. So it's like, where else am I gonna go? I can't go anywhere else. If all else fails, I dock it and put it in, like JK says, get a Pro controller if I hate the controllers, and I'm still playing the games I love. So for me, the Switch is just a handy way for me to pass time in meetings at work. I have to keep my Switch right next to me, so whenever a meeting starts, I just pick it up. But yeah,
Playing War Groove.
Yeah, I love it. I play War Groove, but that's not really a Switch game. But I play it on the Switch because, nobody's playing it anyway. I'm the only person probably on the War Groove server. I play it on the Switch just because I can carry it around with me. I can play it on the Xbox. I have it on my computer from through the Xbox app, but I think it kind of works best through the Switch for me.
Cool. And then we have Carl. How are we feeling about the Switch?
Yeah. I could get the arguments of, nostalgia, solid gameplay. There's definitely a lot to be said for that. However, considering the price of a Switch, I don't know if it's still scarce or not, but the fact that most cell phones have higher resolution and more horsepower, both from a CPU and GPU perspective.
I have Mario Kart.
it's already been stated about, you know, it's lacking in some heft, right? Some horsepower, and it's hard to justify. Now, if somebody gave me a Switch, there's a good chance, you know, I'm still gonna enjoy Mario Kart. There's probably a good chance of that. At the same time, I've been one saying that stuff like Mario Kart, uh, I, I want that in 4K, guys. I get it. You know, you're still trapped in the 80s. You want to do the kiddie colors. I want 4K.
So you
I
want
want
to?
Mario in 4K.
So you,
I don't want photo. It doesn't have to be photorealistic. You could keep your artistic style, but I want crispness. I want HDR. I want all the things. I want ray tracing. Give it to me. I want everything. I don't want no compromises there. It's been 30, 40 years. You can upgrade. You can upgrade these graphics. Embrace that. But if they did, they wouldn't be able to charge you $500 for a motor razor, right? As far as horsepower. So now about this, the presumable Pro thing, it's going to have OLED. Okay, if you're going to come with OLED, which is great, so that should mean that there's a promise, a tacit promise for HDR. Because why else are you going to get OLED if you're not going to try to deliver HDR? But if you're going to do HDR and still have garbage resolution, because you would still need to boost the GPU and CPU to push those pixels, right? So it's not just the screen. So if you're just going to do OLED, but the internals are going to be the same, that still wouldn't be compelling enough for me to pull the trigger. But I'm not a Nintendo hater. Like I said, I played Mario, the various Mario stuff. I'm sure the games are amazing, but I just don't want to give up pixels. I need those to be crispy.
So let me ask y'all this. When it comes down to fidelity, so what matters to you in terms of games, like fidelity, graphics, or is it gameplay, fun factor? Like what's like the one compelling, like or yeah, what will push you over the edge in order to invest in an ecosystem like Nintendo or Xbox?
Like for me, like I don't think it's just one. So let's take, for example, from time to time we play Master Chief Collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay of Halo CE is still there for me. But for the most part, I can't really do it because I'm just looking at huge rectangular prisms all over the place. There's the jaggies are just making my eyes bleed. So like if I play it enough, I can allow myself to forget what I'm looking at, that I'll still get some enjoyment out of it, but I lose a lot of enjoyment because visually it's just not what I'm looking for. Like I need the fidelity to be at least as good as Halo 3. Even Halo 2, it's still a little rough, but at least Halo 2, I think the frame rate is a little bit higher, so that's also a good thing. But so I can't say, yeah, I'm all about frame rate, I'm all about graphics, I'm all about the things, but I do need minimum visuals to have maximum enjoyment. So once I have that minimum, it doesn't have to be the greatest, but once I have that, then I can enjoy the other things of the game.
What about you, Kev? What when it comes to fidelity over gameplay, like what's most important for you?
I mean, yeah, I'm not. Don't make me choose. If you're gonna like,
exactly.
I'm not. I can't do that. Don't. If you're gonna make me choose, I'm not gonna buy it. That's it. If you like, if I have to choose between fidelity or gameplay, I'm gonna choose not to buy that motherfucker. Like that's it.
But so okay, so the
you just stop, or do you turn around? Like, what do you do if you come to a fork in the road?
Get in your helicopter.
I fly up.
Yeah, get in your helicopter, because that's why you were walking. You were walking to your helicopter that's in the fork in the middle of the road. Okay.
I was
Exactly.
walking for the fresh air, not because I had to walk.
Okay. That makes
Exactly.
sense too. Sure.
So not even the portability of the Switch is appealing. Like,
Absolutely.
I stopped wanting to be portable a long time ago.
why
Like,
is that? Why is that?
portability. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, okay, go ahead.
I mean, portability is I mean, it's attractive. But it's one part of an attractive package that's not gonna be complete for me without the fidelity and without the gameplay. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, portable, but then I gotta compromise on this other. It's like, no, I'm good.
So you would want, if it was portable, you would want something that's an equal power to like a Series S or something like that, right? Something that is
Yeah.
a little bit more impressive.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So going back to the folks that do have a Switch, I know that we all love it, but what are some of the things that we hope that they improve with the Switch Pros? AJ, I'll start with you.
The screen does it is lacking, right? If you really want to make a device that people won't make fun of, well, like that is the first step, right? For me, I'm fine with the device in general as it is, because it has the games on. But if they're gonna upgrade anything, it's the screen, and obviously the Joy-Cons get a lot of flack, from other people, and I think that's where I've had the most trouble actually, is with.
Have you gotten Joy-Con drift?
No, not that. I've had other issues where, like, if I play them a lot, I can actually like I guess I'm rough on controllers. I've actually broken a pair before, and that's the reason I have the little rubber grip. This guy fixed my pair. Like, I bought a kit. Who I am.
All right, JK, what are some things you wish? What are some improvements that you hope to see with the Switch going forward, if they do release a Pro?
Better controller for me, and better ergonomics for your hand placement. Because, like, after a while, like, I don't know if it's me, but like my thumbs start tingling after a little while. Like, when I start using it, if I use it for too long.
Isn't
I
that
guess
where you
'cause
wear
I'm
like
tryna-
compression gloves or something?
Yeah, but like even for my controller, it doesn't start tingling like that. Like, I guess because I'm holding the back.
Probably the grip that you have.
Yeah, you have the weight and the
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I would hope they either one have better grips for it to where it's more fits more in your hands, or two, they just I don't know. I guess they should have like an extra controller that goes with it. I guess that would make it cost more though.
Yeah, nah, they want to keep they want to make money on hardware.
But besides that, all the performance is better without cutting down the quality of the picture. But that may be asking for a lot.
Yep, it is Nintendo.
M1 chip.
You said M1 chip?
Get it an M1 chip.
It won't be by Nintendo anymore. It'll be Apple's.
I mean, I already think they should just have like a Portal app to have all their games on the various platforms.
They tried. They tried.
I mean, if you're gonna make such an underpowered piece of hardware, then it doesn't matter. Just have it on the other app stores.
But think about this. Like Kristen said, they want to make money on the hardware. Doesn't they hit you twice? Like, why would they give up a revenue stream just because, so that everybody, like, if they can deliver, like it's like the, what is it called, the MVP, which is your minimum viable product, like what's the lowest you can deliver and still get people to buy it? Why would they
Give that up.
Yeah.
give that? Yeah, that's money. Like the Wii was like one of the most popular systems of all time.
hmm
So like,
And it was
and it was
barely like more
super
powerful
underpowered.
than the GameCube.
Right, exactly. Like I mean, it was cool. I had Netflix on it, but I mean, you
You
don't
had to
watch
use the
Netflix
disc.
on
You had to
Wii.
use the disc with Netflix on the Wii. I remember that shit.
Yeah,
Just to play.
you don't use Netflix on the Wii, but still,
No.
like it wasn't powerful.
Hey, the
but
Wiimote actually was pretty cool on that. Like it was, you could yeah, you could actually like,
rewind and fast forward and
yeah,
stuff
like you
like
could
that.
scroll, like you could. It was actually pretty. It was done in a tasteful manner. I enjoyed
Which
it.
is what they do well. Like they do all
But
the
it
other
was standard
stuff
definition.
so well. It was, but they do all the other stuff so well that like it make up for the fact that you don't necessarily like the
Get the
system.
most
It's like
powerful.
everything else is better. Like the interaction that you get with a Nintendo game, right, compared to what you get like the little like I would say, like, I wouldn't say that necessarily the UI was better or worse than the PlayStation when you go to like the opening screen where you can pick your games and stuff like that. But I
Mhm.
would say it's more interactive. It's more like,
It's more
hey,
bubbly. It's more fun.
yeah, it's more like
Which is weird.
inviting.
Which is
And-
weird
and-
because the Switch isn't like that.
Yeah,
Switch
the
is
Switch isn't
very
like that.
like it's like a stock Android like UI, menu. Like there's no like personality. Like you can't even
Yeah,
add like a theme to it. That's probably one thing I would hope that they
fix.
and give fucking folders. Like you know how PlayStation you had the cross media bar, you can put all your games in folders and shit like that. Like allow folders to
So
be
you
in
want more
there.
customization.
Why can't they just go half on hardware? Maybe link up with like Razer or something like that, and then they could revenue share on the hardware.
You're giving away money.
Yeah,
either
exactly.
way.
Like they
You're looking at it from one perspective.
I want a reason to get it. I want these games too. They're leaving me out. They don't care about me or my feelings.
You
They're a
know,
bunch
Yeah,
of
they don't.
jerks.
They don't,
Yeah.
and they worry about the money. 1 versus 200 million. I'm gonna go with 200 million.
We're
I mean,
more than one out here,
yeah.
JK.
yeah, we want
Alright.
way more.
Two
How many,
versus
how many
200
people?
million. Sure, that changes everything.
How many Gamecast subscriptions are there? How many PS Now folks? Okay, that's who we're dealing with.
Everybody
So-
who has a Switch, they're also on that.
Has all that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on that Nintendo.
Yeah, Switch is always
It's not everybody. Okay, it's not everybody. Thanks.
It's maybe
It's always a secondary.
67%.
Nintendo's always
Maybe.
been like the secondary console for like I think
But they're also in the
Since-
safest position every time.
yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
but-
Well, at least not the Wii U. They bombed on that. They kind of
yeah.
they kind of bombed on the GameCube too. In comparison to actually they kind of so in comparison to the NES and the SNES, the N64 and the GameCube weren't as successful. I think the GameCube less so. The Wii was like, one of the best selling systems ever. The Wii U was like one of the worst selling systems ever. And then we had the Switch and we're back at, one of the best selling systems ever again. So it's like
Huge problem was everybody had Wii's.
The Switches,
Everybody already had a Wii.
yeah.
The N64 and the GameCube were competing against PlayStation and Xbox.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
SNES and the NES were competing against who? Nobody? Sega? No, nobody. They were the top dog. So it makes sense that they sold well. It makes sense. The Wii was the surprise.
yeah.
It
was a novelty.
The Wii U was
It was
not
confusing.
enough of an upgrade on the Wii.
Yeah.
Because I had a Wii and I was like, oh, Wii U, cool. They're adding, but it's like I don't want to spend $300 to get a new system
That
just
does
so I can have a little
okay.
screen or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it wasn't enough of an upgrade. But yeah, that
Terrible
would be-
screen.
they-
You- It's part of the legacy.
I never saw the screen, so I don't know. I don't know. Did they repurpose the screen? Switches?
Nah, I'm just saying it's that's part of their part of their legacy, part of their their ancestry. Like it was a resistive touch screen. It was terrible. Like,
graphic calculator screen. Yeah.
All the Switches is really a combination of Wii U remotes and the Wii U touchscreen.
I think the Switch worked because, relatively speaking, it was an impulse buy, and it was the new interface, right? You have this new way to interact with your game, and it was substantially cheaper than the Xbox, and definitely substantially cheaper than PS3 at the time.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
not just that.
let
You
me
mean the
PS4?
Wii?
the Wii, yeah.
Oh, you talking about the
my,
Wii?
My bad. The Wii,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the
You
Wii
get
also,
like
the Wii also was ahead of its time with the Wiimote, because
yeah,
the Wiimote came out, then PlayStation came out with its little
The Move,
yeah, that dumbass
Move.
looking shit.
And then the Kinect followed.
Kinect,
that
yeah.
follow after that, and so like
Connect was ahead of his time. It deserved better.
Oh, absolutely.
It still deserves
People are
better.
Still using Kinects to
Yeah,
do other things. Like,
mocap.
I was looking in the
Yeah.
I was like, man, I hope somebody has some open source software because I got all these Kinects at my house, and I'm like,
There is open source
Well,
software.
yeah, there
Yeah.
is.
Now people use the Kinect cameras for the machine, the Microsoft HoloLens to use it for mapping.
mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Mm.
Cash Money was in her senior design project or her senior whatever. No, senior. It was her
Her
grad
thesis.
Her grad, yeah, whatever it was.
She didn't do it. It was her grad project. She didn't do it.
Project. She was working with dancers to do kind of mocap.
Oh yeah, she was talking about that.
Yeah,
So
That's dope.
gaming brings new technologies, man. It always has.
Gaming and porn.
porn,
Yeah.
The new Kinect has the heart rate where you could see your heart rate.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
Wi-Fi in general can do all that stuff. So it's like,
Facts.
yeah, like you can literally,
I thought I did that initially because I know with little Just Dance or Dance Central,
I
whatever it
didn't
was
know
called.
I didn't know it checked my heart rate while I was dancing.
Like
Yeah, I didn't
it
either.
checks
You're
your
black, so it wasn't gonna work.
wow.
Facts.
What did she say?
Wow. Carl said you're blessed, so it wasn't gonna work.
Black. So
Yeah, technology doesn't see us unless we're stealing something.
It's a good thing because when the robots take over, they gonna walk right past us.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's my hope.
The bias is gonna finally work against them.
You're right. Absolutely.
It's gonna be like,
No.
oh,
They're just gonna walk in front of us and be like,
walk right by
"What are
No,
you?"
You're gonna see Terminators just walking by black people, stuff up.
They're gonna read the
I
history books and be like, "Man, y'all had it fucked up. Well, you know what? We got y'all. They're gonna, take them out for us.
They're gonna have a light scale. The light you are like, oh, too
What the
close.
fuck you are?
Oh damn! I'm gonna stand outside and be tan all the time.
Right. Better start going to the beach, nigga.
Absolutely.
But so I guess circling back to the Switch real quick, I think another reason that it sold so well is like you get the best of the Wii and the best of like the 3DS, which is one of the best selling handhelds.
Handhelds.
Yeah.
3DS
And
for
like,
sure. It's best handheld.
You get both of those for
One
a
package.
really reasonable price. It's a console price for sure, but like, I mean, it's you get all of that.
Yeah.
So I feel
Also,
like that
it
definitely
caters-
helped them.
That sounds like marketing because you could get an Android tablet.
Nah, you don't want a fucking Android tablet though.
No,
Like, what the
nobody
fuck
wants
you
a
gonna play on an
fucking
Android tablet?
Calm down, and then say I want one. All right. I'm just
They're already
throwing
making
this out
Android
there.
tablets
Get an Android
anymore.
tablet and play games for 3 months. And then
Even the Samsung developers look at their tablets like, man, why the fuck are we wasting money on this
Trash.
plastic? Like,
Look, you
for
can
what, the
get
5 guys who are going to
iPad
buy
mini.
this and then easily regret it and return it for an iPad later down the road? Like, shame on
I would
them.
never. If you're trying to decide between an Android tablet and a Switch, buy a Switch. Buy a Switch Lite. Like, don't buy that. Would
Yeah.
never recommend.
I can't
Never
fault you
recommend.
there.
I have to.
But I also think like one of the things that the Switch has going for it is it caters to, which I still don't fully fucking understand, but mobile gamers. Like, it's just the people who play on their cell phones, man. They have not polluted. That's not right. All right, they deserve a voice too.
Nah, you said
Hey,
it, and you meant it when you said it.
Hey,
Nah,
don't be disrespecting the mobile gamers because it may be
They
a lot
they,
that watch
they
this.
there's more of them. There's way more of them than there is of
there's way
us.
more than there of us, right?
There's a lot of money in mobile games,
When the
unfortunately.
fuck did that happen?
Mobile gamers
But
wanted to kill the console gamers. They could do it with spoons. That's how many.
yes,
Console gamers. They could literally.
and
We could have guns. They could have spoons. And still.
oh,
That's
still
the, that's the aesthetic of the Switch because mobile games you can play while you're on the go, and the Switch you can play while you're on the go. Only
yeah,
problem is
it gives that feel of mobile games while being transportable, which I understand. I get, but like I said earlier, portability doesn't do much for me anymore, and it's especially in a time of COVID where I'm at home. I don't want to be playing on my phone when I could play on my console. Like I just
that's the turning point of now is because of
Does it have a
COVID.
cellular connection? A Switch?
No,
no. If it did though, it'd be a problem.
the Vita did, but they lied. They lied with that.
Yeah,
too.
that shit never worked.
Yeah,
Nope.
no, it was.
They had
it was-
AT&T.
Yeah, the
So-
they had 3G. Like, what can you do on 3G?
Not a damn thing when
All
it
you can
comes
do
to
is
gaming.
sign. All you can do is sign into PSN and just look at your shit, but you can't play no games.
Facts.
It was.
I would say like that's one of the things I fear for is mobile gaming increase. Like especially because like one of the things I've realized, like what made me realize that mobile gaming was like becoming real big is when like Apple like spent a hell of a lot of time during their showcase, like showcasing like how the M1 chip on the iPad works for gaming. And I'm just like, why does this matter? But apparently it was like a big thing. Like these games are massive on the iPad, and I had no idea.
Hmm.
Notoriously bad for games.
On the phone too. I guess
Yeah, on the phone too.
with metal and all that stuff. Yeah.
I think.
Like Call of Duty.
I mean,
Mobile
this is.
a freaking
Yeah, that's
massive. It's a massive environment. I did not realize it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The mobile environment is almost. I think I was looking last time. Like it's damn near close to the console environment, if not, has already passed it. Like
Oh, it's super
should-
profitable.
does not understand.
Yeah,
Printing
exactly.
money.
I'm good with that. Like the people who do that and play that, keep the ship afloat so we can get the shit that we want. So I'm good with that.
True. That's a good. That's always a good way of looking at it. It's like, and I think that I think in the past like companies have always like overcorrected. They're like, okay, we have this one super successful like Call of Duty, so we're just gonna stop everything else and we're just gonna focus on Call of Duty, and then you just run, and then people get tired of the shit and you have nothing to fall back on. So it's like, all right, now you have
I'm tired of color.
yeah, so you have like, you have Activision that's, they got Call of Duty Mobile, and then they have Warzone, and they have all their Blizzard stuff. So they're like printing money. And so it's like, yo, just reinvest that money into other IP just to kind of keep, people on their toes, keep people interested. And then you can always fall back on Call of Duty, but have something else like in a portfolio. But it's like usually like when, companies get that first taste of like, oh shit, like we could just keep doing this shit over and over and over and over. And it's like, that's when you fuck up because you don't.
Fortnite.
Yeah, we'll see how long that thing lasts. I'm not sure
Until I
with the
have
kids.
grandchildren, I guarantee fucking to you, stake this on this video, put a pin on it. I guarantee those bastards will figure out a way to be around until I have grandchildren.
They got so much fucking money. Like Epic is not playing any games. Like they're coming for Valve. They're coming for they're trying to come for Apple. That shit ain't gonna work.
That's just not going.
Yeah, so they're not playing any fucking games. But going back to the Switch Pro, for folks that don't have a Switch, what specifically are you looking for, or what would like pique your interest with the Switch Pro? Let's start with you, Tech.
Again, I'm not sure. Like even if I were to get a Switch, which, like I said earlier, my father-in-law plans on picking one up for the kids, I would probably always have it in its mount connected to a TV. Like I don't think I'd ever have it to where it's standalone, where it's carrying it. I damn sure wouldn't give it to my kids to carry it alone by themselves. Like Barely trust them with their, their tablet, and that's on like a massive phone, basically, like a case, and it still gives me, it nerves me every single time they pick it up and walk with it. So I don't know. Like, I guess I would say the only thing that would make a Pro stand out to me is if it's a little bit faster, maybe if it, cleaner connection to the TV, better controllers for sure. I mean, I know you got the Pro controllers and stuff like that, which give you more of an original, gamer feel, but definitely, I don't know, better controllers than what's connected to it now. I mean, yeah, I would, it had to be a substantial uptick in gameplay, speed, better connection. I don't even know if it does Ethernet directly on the mount, does it?
Nah, you have to get a adapter.
Okay. A mount that has Ethernet to it. I mean,
All bad.
that would be fantastic. All bad. And again, like, it's not like I'm playing these, tough games on it, but like, it would be a console for my kids, and would I see them needing a Switch Pro? No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a console for them until they become 13 and request an Xbox or a PlayStation or a PC, depending on their preference. So it's just, yeah, no, I don't see a Pro in my future unless somebody buys it for me.
What about you, Kev?
Yeah, I mean, when we say do we need a Switch Pro, I mean, does the market obviously doesn't need it. The Switch is selling ridiculously well. For me, I don't know. Like I said, don't make me compromise. Like, I'm willing to spend more than 300 on it if it's good, if it's worth it.
Yeah.
I need a better control. Like, the controller is way too small. Like, it's too slim and too like long. But so it's like you gotta like make it wider. So like I can't play with these tiny buttons with these terrible like joysticks. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta give me some improvements. I need a better controller. I need a better screen. I need everything. But I don't know. And I'd have to see. I would, like, if they was like promising all that, I don't know if I'd go pick it up off the shelf. Like, I'd watch some review videos and see like what it's hitting for. I wouldn't be putting in no pre-orders and nothing like that. Like, they would have to show improve for me.
True.
For sure.
What about you, Carl?
Yeah, I think so. Most of the changes I would want are hardware specific. So, if the rumor on an OLED is correct, that's awesome. I do want an OLED. I do want 4K 120 on there.
4K 120, that shit gonna be.
That's not gonna happen.
Hey! I mean, you need to figure it out on that battery.
Carl, the shit gonna be a fucking book.
I know that shit.
A book? Why is it gonna be a book?
Our Series X can't even do 4K 120.
It can.
Exactly. No, it can't.
It can. It could do 4K 120. Right now, it's
the S
on
the X can.
Oh, the X. Okay. I mean,
but right now it doesn't support Dolby Vision at 4K 120, which they're working on. Patch is coming soon. Boom. But so I do want HDR. I want the 4K 120. I feel like it's key. It's key to have a cellular connection. I think that's important. Again, I know that's another potential battery drain, but I want it to be truly mobile. I don't want to be getting on some hotspot and kill some other device's battery. Like, no.
So what service would it be? A service that you have to go on your own, add it on to your own service, or like,
just like when you buy a tablet,
you could do it like how Pixel phones work, right? You have an eSIM, and then almost every carrier supports an eSIM. So it's, if they want to be have a nice smooth experience and partner up with a specific carrier, so be it. But if it's an eSIM, you could download your SIM situation from whichever carrier and keep it moving. So that shouldn't be an issue there. So yeah, we don't want to be fumbling with like little SIM cards for a game console. At least I wouldn't. So just keep it eSIM. And then if you want to partner with one of these folks to make, the preferred plan or something like that, that's cool. But so the screen 4K 120 with the HDR. Obviously, if you're going to need that, an upgraded CPU, GPU.
Book.
Look. Go ahead and have some conversations with Apple. Maybe you need a chip in there because I know they're not building their own chips, so it's not like they're too proud for that. They're not doing that, right? So,
They're getting all their stuff from Nvidia.
Apple?
And Nvidia is going to make them pay through their nose. Nvidia, I don't think they're at the cutting edge of ARM, but whatever. So the screen, the innards from a chip perspective, cellular data, and then implied in all that they're going to patch all their games, at least first party games, patch them all to be able to handle the higher resolution.
Well, just make a new company, new console, and everything new. And
Look,
Sell the IP.
look, that One X player, people are willing to spend $1,500 on it.
And that's exactly how much this shit gonna cost. Shit, more than that probably. They're gonna be charging two. It's gonna be thick like this, and they're gonna be charging 2 stacks.
That One X player is not thick, all right. And if they had,
But it ain't doing 4K 120. Their shit is 2.5K max, and that's like
they're also using Intel, all right.
40 FPS. That's true. That is
They're
true.
using Intel. It's not purpose built OS, right? They're using Windows, so they have all these things in which they're losing performance left and right. If you had a highly optimized ARM architecture, a purpose built OS, so on and so forth, you can get there with the thermal envelope. Like again,
Carl, listen, hold on. This all sounds fantastic.
Mac Mini's coming out, baby. That Mac Mini looks like it's gonna be juicy.
Thicker than this. It's thicker than this.
The Mac Mini's not thicker than that.
When are we building this, Carl? When are we building this, Carl? I need to know.
In the future.
Because this sounds amazing and I need one.
Look.
Like never.
Look, pause. All right. Let's consider the new iPad Pro M1.
Word.
Okay. Now, I don't think it's 4K, right?
No.
But the True Motion display is already 120 hertz. It already has that. So pretty much in every other regard that I just talked about, it's already there. So this is not some mythical device that's beyond imagination, right?
Sell it to Apple's, but you're saying sell their hardware to Apple.
Are you trying to tell? Is Apple the only company that can innovate?
No, what I'm saying is there's no money in doing as much work as you want for Nintendo games. Consoles don't even do that work. Like consoles are not even doing the work that you're speaking of.
Let's do this, all right? What is a max iPad Pro M1? What is that, like $1,500? I'm guessing, right? A maxed out one's $1,500. Maybe I'll take an L on the screen and be like, okay, it's not 4K. Let's do your lazy 2.5K. Fine, whatever. Okay, fine. But I still want the HDR, and they'll give me everything else. The iPad Pro still has a decent battery life with all that, all that stuff. The GPU is still pushing.
So you'd buy a $1,500 Nintendo system if it had all that stuff.
I want the option so I can dignify it, and then I'll think about it, and maybe I'll get it. I gotta respect the product before I even consider getting it.
Promise all those extra things that they gotta shape up on just so you can think about maybe.
Apple, look.
Considered.
Apple's delivering it right now. That's all I'm saying. Apple's delivering it.
But the reason you want to spend three to four times what the Switch is worth to get that, like. And an Apple device is usually more all-purpose than a Switch.
But that's with an Apple Premium.
Yeah,
the Nintendo Premium should not be as high as Apple Premium. I'm sorry.
Okay, so what? Instead of $1,500, it's $1,200. it's still
a thousand.
that's still
Maxed
too much
out.
for a console. Nobody's selling consoles for $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One X
Nobody
player,
is.
one X player, guys.
That's not a console.
I mean, that's a
It's a
PC.
very niche. It's a very
PC,
niche market.
and it's like the people who PC game would spend 15. They're used to spending $1,500.
I would
on their
absolutely spend $1,500 on that.
Yeah,
Like, I don't.
PC game.
I like.
You're a PC.
So
gamer.
you would do that for the
Yeah.
One X player, but you would not do that for the Switch, is what you're saying right now?
No, I would.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the Switch would be if Apple built it, it would be fantastic. If Nintendo built it, it would be thick as a book, and it would be like $2,000. Maxed out iPad Pro with 2 terabytes is $2,400 right now, right?
Good
Okay,
choice.
With one terry,
what's the 1 terry? Yeah.
1 terry is $1,800. Nintendo is not gonna give me all that for $1,800. There's no way. And so like if I want to play Nintendo games, okay, then I'm gonna have to settle for whatever the fuck they put out.
You heard it
And-
here first,
okay,
guys.
cool.
It's impossible for Nintendo to make a portable.
It's not
that I want.
impossible. They're not
It's
interested.
impossible
Yeah.
for them to make
that
something I want.
No.
It's not impossible.
Yes, for
They
something
just
you
don't.
want- no, something
They don't
you
care
want.
about your feelings. Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah,
It's
they
impossible
definitely-
for them because
they
you
definitely
want a
don't care
PC.
about it.
You don't want a console. Like you're not.
don't even-
Your Xbox right now doesn't do all of the things that you want this Nintendo.
And I'm
thing
mad,
to
and that's why I'm gonna get
I'm
it.
mad now.
That's
Yeah,
why I'm
but
getting
you're
the
gonna
Series X.
get an Xbox Series X, which barely does the stuff that you want. If all of the stuff, I'm pretty sure it doesn't do all the stuff. You can even get a Series X, and you're still
Nah.
missing out.
I'm gonna get 4K 120 HDR. I'm definitely.
Sometimes.
I'm getting
Yeah,
an
some- yeah,
LG G1.
sometimes. He's
The
gonna
LG
be
G1.
You
You
Okay,
get the
sorry.
G1. Oh, Carl balling.
So the G1 C1 is the best gaming television on the market. Period. For gaming. It's not the
Yeah.
best TV, but the best for gaming. I'm gonna get the G1. I'm gonna have a flush mount, 0 gap, baby, and it's gonna be 4K 120. And hopefully, by the time I scoop that, they would have solved the Dolby Vision thing. I'm just mad that
Yeah.
Halo 5 is not going to get Dolby
Let me
Vision.
remind you
Yeah,
that
Halo 5,
Xbox
yeah.
didn't have to mount your TV to their console.
That's true.
So you're telling Nintendo to do what nobody's doing, not nobody's doing. Besides,
Look, I didn't put a cap on. I didn't put the cap on their price. Okay, I didn't put a cap on their price. That's what Kev did. I didn't do that.
You would never buy a Nintendo device.
You said you would think about it. Like there was no guarantee
you would
at any price point.
You know what they
Boy.
would get? They would get a thumbs up from you. You'd be like,
Yes.
All right, they'll be like,
You
good job,
finally
Nintendo.
did
You did it.
They wouldn't even get a thumbs up from him.
No,
Oh, they would.
he'd give them a thumbs up, and then he would completely.
That's
Yeah,
it. Not his
Lord.
money.
Because there's
Look,
no Nintendo game that is worth. There's no Nintendo game or no Nintendo experience that's worth $1,000.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to always.
Exactly.
So
I
I mean, I
mean,
love Nintendo. I don't care. if
Contra, guys, maybe Contra,
Look,
a
no,
3D Contra.
nobody.
You're gonna pay
Right.
upwards of $1,500 for 3D content.
And that would
Look, nigga, you
be multi-platform anyway.
I could be a part of the fighter pass.
That'd
for
be
the next Smash Brothers. A literal version of me, and I could be the most awesome. I could be the next fighter on the next Smash Brothers, Smash
Yeah.
Brothers.
They're gonna just start putting like random motherfuckers in there.
Yeah, random niggas in it. And it could be me. And I still wouldn't buy that console for an experience to play with me in a game where I can punch Mario in the face. Still wouldn't do it. And that's big. I mean, I'd pay an extra penny to do that. But I'm not gonna pay $1,000. It didn't matter. My mama could be one of those characters. I'm not buying that console. It's
Wow.
You want to punch your mama in the face?
no, but I want her to punch Mario in the face though.
Damn.
Somebody get that clip and send it to AJ's mama.
All right, so bottom line though, this so this year and last year have been terrible for buying new hardware. So do we fucking need especially a Nintendo piece of hardware? Because
God, no, we don't.
if it's this hard finding a PS5, and I would say in terms of like fanboyism and loyalty to brands like in gaming, Sony and Nintendo are like almost neck and neck. More so Nintendo just because it just has more nostalgia and has older demographic that has money to spend. But Do we fucking need this shit this year? Can we just wait? Can we wait for next year? Can we wait for a year after?
Wait,
They
nigga.
honestly could release it in 2 years and it'll be just fine. Like I don't know. It's a money grab to I think probably a rush project, to be honest, because there were no leaks of them developing anything like this a year ago. I imagine some executive was just like, shit, they're still locked up for COVID. Let's push out another system.
What if it comes out with like
Say again.
specs? Like it comes out with all of his specs, and it's the same price.
That would be crazy.
I think Carl has to agree to purchase one.
How much is it now? How much is it now?
Like
$299.
$299, yeah.
If it's $299 and it has everything that I just said,
yeah.
it is.
Oh no. How much is it now? That's for the
let's say it came out and it was somehow magically they figured out something nobody else can do in
like they been the laws of physics in that motherfucker.
Absolutely, that's also part
All
of
the
it.
alchemies in this bitch.
So you're telling me, Carl, you would buy it for $300?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, it would explain all the UFO sightings.
I would.
They found that new alien technology.
I'm on the record. I would absolutely scoop it if they did that.
Listen, if
Isn't
they
that how it
if
works?
they
They
came
get the
out with some
radio
shit,
signals like years later.
bruh, if they come out with that shit, I'm
So,
a pre-order.
they're
I'm a
just
pre-order
now,
too.
but
Like,
Absolutely,
there's
you
no
gotta
way.
pre-order that. You gotta pre-order.
one for each kid.
He could have everything Carl said. I'm still not buying another one. I already have a Switch. Like,
And that's the kind
You
of the
don't
thing
care
that
about
I'm.
your eyeballs though.
I care about my eyeballs. My eyeballs are just kinder to me than yours are to you, and so therefore they don't need all the extra pixels.
I'm trying to figure out like how they're gonna handle. I'm trying to figure out like how they're gonna handle like the the split in the market. Like you'll have like it has to be fully compatible with like current Switch games right now, and they also have to get boosted up to take advantage of the new hardware. So I wonder how they're going to handle that, because there's like they have a huge install base right now. So why would they, if they do come out with the upgraded console, like they got to make sure that the process and like upgrading is seamless as like getting a PlayStation Pro or Xbox One X, So
They
I think
can
that's-
do like Xbox does, velocity
Exactly.
architecture, and
this is Nintendo that we're talking about.
this is true.
I
So
mean,
it's gonna
no.
fail. So yeah, they can't do it.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like other console companies have already solved the problem. Like they don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Mhm.
And so I feel like they might have, like, even for them, like they already had the Wii and the Wii U. They got the 2DS, the 3DS, the 3DS Lite. They got a whole bunch of 2 and 3DSs that all share like cartridges and stuff. So I don't think,
Yeah.
aside from like getting these games up to par for that kind of hardware, I don't think they would have too much trouble.
Yeah, and Nintendo has been, before even Microsoft or PlayStation. Well, I say PlayStation during like the PS2 days, but yeah, they've been super with the Wii and the GameCube, and even all the way up to the Wii U. They've been like super generous in terms of like backwards compatibility. Like you can play basically GameCube and Wii games. You can play GameCube games on your Wii. You can play Wii games on a Wii U. I don't know if you can play GameCube on a Wii U, but yeah, no, they've been handling that. So it would be weird if they do kind of like, that would be stupid if they cut it off. That would be the dumbest move ever. So I think
Yeah.
any solution it just has to be super seamless to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Huge
that would be
install
a lot of
base.
R&D wasted. Yeah.
Absolutely. So to close out, we briefly talked about it, but we have like these new competitors in the market. Particularly these basically portable gaming PCs that kind of resemble the Switch. Any of them, piquing your interest? Anybody think about pulling the trigger on one of them?
One X player looks really good. But
I don't have $1,500 to spend on it though. I can't justify that. There's no use case for it. Unless I can dev on it, there's no use case for it.
I mean, you could. They make a little keyboard.
I'm sure they got a HDMI out.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I could dev on that thing.
Chromecast.
By itself.
It's a Chromecast.
I can't be plugging it in, right? You got a Chromecast.
You can get USB-C to HDMI, plug that thing right into a monitor.
Yep. Absolutely.
You're muted, Suave. I mean,
I think he's talking to his wife.
Got it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're wasting so much.
No, I'm talking to my
performance
idiot
running
brother.
Windows.
I got you. You said what, Carl?
You're wasting so much performance running Windows instead of it being purpose built. And I guess for some people that's part of what's compelling, that it's a full blown computer.
no, it has to be.
Pain.
So
Because
here,
it's Steam library.
Yeah,
Basically.
but so the Steam. Yeah,
and not just Steam, you get Game Pass.
Get Game Pass. You get Epic Game
You
Store.
get xCloud once they bring that.
Yeah, you get Epic Game
Like,
Store.
you got everything.
You get
Epic.
Origin, EA
EA
Play.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
It was
basically just
intentionally
open.
made to a PC. It was
Yeah.
intentionally made a Windows
Has
PC.
anybody
So,
ever tried to get the Xbox app to work on another platform? That somebody needs to be working on that.
Well,
They
were
really do need to
they
be.
were rumors talking about Game Pass would have been on the Switch. Like I think Microsoft
I remember
was
that.
talking. Yeah, I
Get
remember
it
I
Microsoft.
was so
on Linux,
hopeful.
man. Get it on if you could get it on Linux and then
Why do Microsoft is not wasting money on that? Like, there's no way.
I told you Windows is about to turn into Linux, man. Like, that's
Nah.
within the decade. It's
Maybe.
even if it does, and it becomes the greatest operating system to dev on, Kev will still be on Apple.
I don't think it can be the greatest without the other, the other perks that I get with Apple.
Sure.
And so,
So to
for
that
me anyway.
to that Linux point, Steam Pal, apparently, so Valve like even before they were talking about this new like handheld system, they
Mhm.
did their whole Steam. I think they called them Steam boxes or some shit.
yeah.
Mhm.
And those were I think those were running Linux.
Yeah.
But the problem with that was that you basically kind of cut your whole library in half because not every game on Steam is compatible on Linux.
That's
So,
the issue.
Yeah.
And not just that, but like Valve abandons all their Valve is with their hardware what Google is to all their software. Like I
Yeah.
can't I couldn't justify that. Like I can only play games that run on Linux and I gotta buy this shit from Valve and hope that they're gonna
they
keep
support
it. No.
Yeah. I didn't even get to try that Steam controller. That shit looked like I was like I don't even like the idea of that. Like,
It looked interesting. I didn't think I would like it.
yeah,
though.
I need my sticks. I think I'm good on that. I don't need any more like innovation in that.
This is tried and true right here.
Exactly. So yeah. So Switch Pro. I honestly, I don't want to see it this year because I don't want to go through the anxiety of trying to buy some shit in this climate.
Yeah,
It's I mean
the bot climate.
yeah, man, it's so fucking stressful. And so I don't think that I think they can chill like until next year, like wait till the supply chains get a little more stable and get the chips and all that shit. But we don't need this shit this year. Like
They
Come
can wait
on.
2 years.
yeah,
2
like,
years because it's gonna be till next year till PS5s and Xboxes are available. Are really gonna be more available than they are this year. Tell you the truth.
yeah. And it's what games from Nintendo really need that extra horsepower. I know that they're trying to do
It's the
Breath of the
chicken and
Wild
egg
too.
problem.
What'd you say, Carl?
That's like a chicken and egg problem. It's like, yeah, no games need it because they never had it, so nobody's gonna build it. So, but if you had the horsepower, people would build for it.
Yeah, and then they can port over all the other. The problem is always the third party games that they get ported over. It's always like a special. Like there's actual like studios that just specialize in Nintendo ports and getting it to work on there. So,
All bad.
Damn.
So consensus, if Nintendo, if Switch Pro was to be announced tomorrow, who's pre-ordering?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think a soul on this whole podcast
I mean,
that's pre-ordering.
if AJ's situation came through, I think I'd pre-order.
That's the only situation.
What the price?
If they made that with all Carl specs and they was like, it's $299,
$300.
Okay, yeah, with Carl specs, sure.
I wouldn't get it. Even then, I wouldn't get it.
Again, you like your eyes to bleed.
Why? Don't bleed. Great vision.
No, he likes pain. This is true.
He likes pain. That's it.
He is fueled by pain and hate. Those are his drives. That's his quirk. He gets power from hate. The more people that hate him, the more stronger he becomes.
Like that girl from Shadow and Bone and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Shadow and Bone, the Nevers.
Oh yeah.
Malady.
So that wraps it up for this first episode of Hate It or Love It. We talked about the Switch Pro. We're gonna have some upcoming videos talking about. So right now it's E3 time, so there's going to be a lot of shit that's going to be announced in the next few weeks. Particularly, all of us are huge Xbox fans, so we're all looking forward to hearing more stuff about Halo Infinite and all of the other like Bethesda stuff and any like updates to the Xbox OS. I know we briefly talked about the Dolby Atmos support. So we're going to be on the lookout for a lot of this stuff for E3. And then we have the WWDC that we'll be talking about I think next week, right? With Apple. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Hate It or Love It. We're definitely going to have a lot more juicy subjects to talk about. In the beginning, we talked about the difference between deving on a Mac or on a PC. So that's definitely going to be a future episode. So stay tuned to that. But other than that, make sure you follow us on social at Blurred Dimension. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also follow us on Twitch. We're Blurred Dimension. My name is Not Cirque. Again, this is the Blurred Dimension team. We got JK, Tech, Kev, AJ, and Carl. And we will see you all next time.
Wow.